channel community, Diana here. Hope you're all well. This video is a kind of response to Matt and Sam's top Psych finds of 2017, or top finds of 2017. Matt, DJ Mellow, and Sam, the Psych professor, are doing every year their top finds, and I always look forward to these videos. They are absolutely great. I rewatched it yesterday and it's so fun to watch. I'm always changing between absolutely laughing because they are so funny and being kind of jealous because they have the most amazing finds and they have so much fun presenting it, and it's just contagious and I absolutely love it. And the outtakes were priceless. So in case you're not familiar with their channel or their latest video, I will link the video below so you can check it out. It's way too loud. And their video inspired me to do top 10 Psych finds of 2017 as well. Because I thought it would be a great opportunity to show all the great Psych music I found last year, which I hadn't had time to show yet, and to do some needle drops. I'm cheating because I'm just one person there too. They make like 20 records. I have like almost 10 honorable mentions, so it's like some records I just want to put in, and my top 10. Well, anyway, some of them are of course records I've shown before and needle dropped, so I won't do needle drops for them, but there are a lot of records in here which I haven't shown yet, and I would needle drop all of them. Okay, so let's start with the honorable mentions. Records which I loved and sometimes did not have the time to spin it that much, so it did not end up in the top 10, but I thought would be worthy to show anyway, and worthy to needle drop of course. The first one is the Merchants of Dream, Strange Night Voyage. I bought this, released in 1968 on A&M Records. I bought this one in Brussels on our trip last year, and I did not know that much about it. It's like, I think, the only album by the band, and I was intrigued by the certificate of birth here. You have like here, name of the album, date of birth, time of birth, delivered by Community Productions. Mother's side is side A, father's side is side B. We hereby certify that this album is alive and healthy to all who hear it, which I think is a pretty cute idea. Well, this record is kind of all over the place, but not in a bad way. It reminds me a little bit of Jean-Claude Vanier's stuff, because one time you have this lovey-dovey Psych tinged track, and the next time suddenly it's like circus music. Every track is totally different and everything is like a great surprise, and you're just sitting here thinking, what's going to be next? So yeah, it's a really interesting and intriguing listen, which I can highly recommend. Take the journey while you still can. Be your friend, 'cause children laugh and children play. They don't care about the time of day. Big hand, little hand, both the same. And the next one, the Nickelback. The only and real Nickelback, not this one. Yeah, the Nickelback, Doing the Love Thing, released on Kamasutra Records. I absolutely adore the cover here with the wooden horse thing. Great back cover. Also scored this in Brussels. I think in the same store than the Strange Night Voyage. And what is really intriguing about this record here is that all the songs are well-known love poems, like one of William Shakespeare, one of William Wordsworth, one of Emily Bronte and Rudyard Kipling, and so on. and they make psychedelic songs out of it, which I think is just a great idea and a really nice psychedelic love song album. The next one is one, if it wouldn't be this kind of rubbish pressing, it would rank much higher in my top 10. Vanilla Fudge Renaissance. This is the original rock classics release. This is kind of 70s, really cheapo German pressing, and you can have them for super cheap. I think I got this for less than $5. And yeah, it's just a fabulous album. I will definitely try to get it in a better pressing one time, but I think these pressings are really nice to just get the feel for a record and just check out if it's your cup of tea, and therefore it's a darn great album. Next one is one I have shown before, Clear Light self-titled album. This is Sunday's repress. I've needle dropped it before, so yeah. But I just wanted to include it anyway because it's also an amazing album. Next one is another Sunday's repress, United States of America, released in 1968. It's a great album, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know. What I think is really interesting about here is that they do not have any electric guitar on here, but they have an electric violin, and the album sounds incredibly psyche, which I hope to catch sometime as an original pressing, but I'm always very content with the Sunday's pressing. One is one I've already shown as well. Wizards from Kansas. This is the Sunbeam reissue, which I can also highly recommend because it includes a ton of information. I will link the video where I need to drop it down below. And the next one is some Psych pop, which I absolutely love to put on to get into the day. And it's Peppermint Trolley, released in 1968 over Acta. This is a promotional mono copy and has some incredibly catchy songs. I bought this on Record Fair for I think $10 or so it's just a great score. Just how it feels to simply move around. Try not to feel so sad at the I'll be attached no matter where I'm bound. top 10, and I'm cheating here because I have like 3 artists with 2 records, but I always put them in one place, so I can include more records because I just want to show records, I'm sorry. So, number 10 is Ultimate Spinach, Behold and See, released on MGM. It's the second album by the psychedelic band. I found this when we had a layover from our vacation, and we were close to a record store, and so we just skipped in and thought we'd just look what to find, and there it was. For, I'm not sure, like 12 bucks or so. And I also want to include the first album of Ultimate Spinach, also released on MGM, which I also found this year. So place number 10 is 2 albums of the absolutely fantastic Ultimate Spinach band. I love Ballad of the Hip Dead Goddess, but Behold and See is also incredibly psyche and catchy, and since I have needle dropped the first one, I will needle drop this one.
And see. And you've shown me fantasies in a crystal ball.
And number 9, another Brussels find. Yeah, I bought a whole lot of records in Brussels. The Sunshine Company with Happy Is, first album by the psychedelic pop Sunshine Pop band. This was released on Imperial Records. This is the mono pressing. I bought it for 10 bucks, another thing which is just great to put up on in the morning, on a Sunday morning. I have a feeling that I could just know every song on here almost by word, so yeah, it's just a great thing, it's catchy, and you'll have this record stuck in your ear all the time. So highly recommend it.
They don't know how to close their eyes and dream. No time to dream. Children could help us find a way. I didn't realize the silence in your eyes. You told me the place for that gift and still your smile.
The next one is one I have shown before. Beaver Tree, self-titled album released in Uni. I will link to the needle drops here. And number 7 is the Zodiac Cosmic Sounds, released on Elektra. This is the only Discogs find in here, I think. I was buying something, and then I'm always looking up what the seller has also in store, and this one popped up for like 30 bucks or so, and yeah, I just had to get it. Cosmic Sounds is the project by Mort Garson, who was also responsible for the Plantasia stuff, and this one is great psychedelic experimental music with the theme of these zodiac signs like Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and so on. And what's also really interesting here is that it was released in 1967, and it's one of the first commercial records to include the Moog synthesizer. and I will need to drop it, but I can just recommend what's stated here must be played in the dark.
Ares is first to face the flames. Overflowing will hear applause wherever he goes.
And number 6, keen ears might have already guessed it's Love, Da Capo, released on Elektra, the second album by the absolutely famous psychedelic rock group. I love this record so much. Even though I have listened to Forever Changes like a dozen times, I will always prefer this one over it, because for somehow it's just more up my alley. Every track is perfect. And the next one is one I've shown before, number 5, Fool. I adore this cover, released on ABC Records. I was so happy to find this because it was one of my first psychedelic records I ever had on my imaginary want list, and last year I was just browsing through some crates and I found it for like 20 bucks, and I was like, oh my god, I finally have it. And the guy was kind of mesmerized that I had this in one hand and some actual BIG pressing in the other. I was like, what? But yeah, I'm so over the moon to have this, and absolutely love the record. Yeah, I've neither dropped it before, I will link the video. And number 4, I've shown before as well, but I love it so much. The Collector, self-titled album released on Warner Brothers. This is another record for find. We were chatting with the seller and he was really nice. He could have been my grandpa, but he was absolutely amazed that younger people still listen to this music. And it had a sticker on it, like Rare Original, and I was like, the cover is great. I think I've seen it before, shown once before, so I was like, oh, I want to have it. And he was like, oh, this is a Rare Original. I'm really sorry, but I have to get like $5 for it. And I was like, yeah, of course. I mean, well, it's just a great price for such an amazing album. I'm not sure if I ever have mentioned, sometimes it's quite hard to find psychedelic music here, especially originals, so yeah, it was great to have it. One artist, 2 records on place number 3. I'm obsessed with it, you know it. It's Pearls Before Swine, Balaclava's second album on ESP, and One Nation Underground, the first album on ESP. I bought both on record fairs, and yeah, I love them. I've needle dropped them before and I've talked at length about them. I will link the video. And another artist with 2 records, I'm sorry, but it's the last one, well, it's place number 2, is the band with the longest name ever, West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band, with Part 1 and Volume 2. I don't have any idea what's wrong with their naming. Also both scored at record fairs. You notice we don't have record shops around here. This is the German first press on reprise, this is the US first press on reprise. I bought this for I think 35 euros, and this was like 25 euros on the Utrecht record fair, and I just had to get it. Yeah, it's a bit beaten, but anyway, it's hard to decide which one I like more. I have needle dropped this one before, so I will needle drop this one, and just let me know in the comments which one you like more. I love both.
Push her away. I shut and locked the door. Her eyes grew large and asking, and the smell of incense filled her room.
Number 1, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have figured it, because as with the Alice Train, I don't know how often I have mentioned that I want this freaking album, and this is Come and Have Some Tea with the Tea Company. The Tea Company, released in 1968 over Smash Records. I had this on my want list for ages. Never saw it in the wild, never ever. I always saw people see showing it, and I was like, oh, I want it so much, and was watching my Discogs lists for so long, but it never showed up in Germany. And when we went to Utrecht, I was like, okay, I want to have 3 albums, like Alice Coltrane, Journeys in Satchitananda, Rodrock the Free Slave, and this one. And I ended up getting 2 of them, so it's great, and the other one recently. So yeah, absolutely fantastic psychedelic album. I bought this for 40 euros, I think. My favorite tracks on here would be Love Could Make the World Go Round, You Keep Me Hanging On, the Supremes cover. I prefer this one even more to the Vanilla Fudge cover. And Make Love Not War is just an iconic classic, I think. And yeah, I also adore the cover. And overall, it was a great on my list, and I'm so happy to have it. And so no other record could have been my number 1 pick.
Even Bob Dylan put up a good fight. Away with them, said society, 'cause you know, they just don't dress right. People of love find no peace of mind. Set me free, why don't you, baby? Yeah.
practice out.
Okay, so that's it for today. I really hope it's more needle drops than talking. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Please go watch Sam and Matt's fabulous videos. They're always so fun and I'm so jealous of all the great finds they have. So let me know, out of the bunch I've shown here, which are your favorites? Were there some records in here which you were not familiar with? And what was your top psychedelic pick of last year? I would love to know. Leave me something in the comments and see you soon. Bye!